What is up, everybody? It's so great to see you. It's Mr. Stu here. My name is Stuart Perry. I go by Mr. Stu. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Kentucky, and I work as a child therapist. I also created MisterStuTV to help children and the adults they trust be able to understand mental health and be able to implement different things so that children's mental health can be supported and sustained throughout all of their development. The weather is turning colder here in Kentucky. You can see I've got my toboggan on. That's because I'm bald, and so my head gets cold much faster, but all the leaves are turning or have turned. It is very chilly outside, and as the weather starts to turn, and as we've turned up the clock, turned back the clocks, fall back, yep, turned back the clocks, and we have seen that the days have gotten shorter, the daylight time has gotten shorter, and the weather has gotten chillier. I know that for me, that tells me all of the holidays are right around the corner. We just celebrated Halloween a few weeks ago. Thanksgiving is coming up in a few weeks, and then lots of other holidays are celebrated throughout the month of December and beyond. Up later this month, though, is that holiday of Thanksgiving. The holiday where we celebrate the things that we can be grateful for. Now, as children, maybe you were told the tale that this was to celebrate the time when pilgrims and Native Americans sat down together and ate a meal, and as you get older, you learn it didn't quite happen that way. But Thanksgiving is still that time where we acknowledge there are so many things to be grateful for. But sometimes with children, it can be very difficult for them to understand there are so many things to be grateful for when they see this whole world full of things that they still want. So today we're going to be focused on how to instill that attitude of gratitude in children, how to help children be thankful and grateful for the things they already have, even though they know there are other things they want. And, here in America and around the world, people celebrate Thanksgiving, and then there's typically a gift holiday celebrated in December, whether that be Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or Christmas or any of the other celebrations. Many times it follows with gifts, and so it can be so hard to get children to focus on this time of giving thanks when they know right around the corner there's this time where they get to ask for whatever it is that they want. But it's important to know that gratitude, giving thanks, really giving that thanks, not just feeling thankful, but showing thankfulness. That's what gratitude is. And gratitude leads to many positive outcomes in children. As a matter of fact, a research study done at UC Davis showed that practicing gratitude can increase happiness up to 25%. Can you believe that? 25% of your happiness can be boosted just by practicing gratitude. It's like having a flashlight in the dark that helps us to see the good even on tough days. And research also shows that gratitude can reduce stress and improve overall well-being. Knowing that, can't we agree that gratitude is so important? And maybe you know this already. Maybe you know that in your life, when you are more thankful, when you are more grateful, you just feel better. You feel that 25% boost. You feel that decrease in stress. And there's many hypotheses as to why this happens. And there's some research that indicates what is actually happening in your brain when you practice gratitude. But so much of it comes down to just what you are focused on. When you focus on what you already have and how great that is, then that stress of always trying to achieve the next thing, of always trying to get something else, of always trying to look better and be better than the people around you, that stress starts to go away as you see that you are so grateful for all of the things that are already in your life. I said just a bit ago that gratitude is a bit different than just being thankful. Gratitude is that actionable thankfulness. John F. Kennedy says this: as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Wow. Not just to say, oh, I'm thankful for this, and I'm thankful for you, and I'm thankful that I have all these things, but really to live that way. That is gratitude. With children, it starts by doing small things that help them to understand more and more all of the things that they have to be grateful for. But keep that in mind, that it's not just about saying, oh, I'm so thankful. It's about living in a way that demonstrates you are grateful. Henry Frederick Emile, not exactly sure if that was right. Henry Frederick Emile says this: thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Thankfulness may consist merely of words. Gratitude is shown in acts. Are you someone who practices gratitude yourself? We'll get to a few strategies a little later about how to help children understand thankfulness and how to help children practice this attitude of gratitude, of really living out their thankfulness. But really a big thing to understand is that if you are not living in a way that is grateful, if you are not showing children that you are grateful for things, it's going to be very difficult for them to learn how to be grateful. Then Oprah says this: be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Think about that. If you have $10 and you are so grateful for that $10 and you think about where you're going to spend that $10, I know that it doesn't seem like that much money in today's world, but especially thinking about children being so grateful they have that $10, then it seems so much more than even what it technically is. But if you're always wanting the next dollar, the next thing, more of what you already have, different than what you already have, there will never be enough. There will always be someone with more than you. There will always be something you don't have. There will always be the next dollar to chase, and there will never be enough to leave you satisfied. But if you focus on that attitude of gratitude, of practicing the thankfulness, of showing how grateful and thankful you are for the different things that come your way, then it can seem like even more than it is. I had told you that at the University of California at Davis, they found that practicing gratitude on a regular basis can improve happiness by 25%. But get this also. Research also indicates, this is research from Harvard Health, that expressing gratitude can improve physical health. Those who regularly express gratitude report fewer aches and pains and feel healthier than other people. How wild is that? That while you are improving your happiness and decreasing your stress and feeling better about the things that you already have, also your physical health, your illness, your aches, your pains also start to diminish. And here's the reason why. In your brain, there are different parts of your brain that react and do different things, and they have different jobs. But the part of your brain that is responsible for communicating to you and to your body that you are in physical pain is the same part of your brain that communicates to you to let you know that you are having emotional pain. So, if you're in this emotional distress of just wanting more and more and more and just needing different and more and always more and better and all, then that part of your brain is constantly being triggered saying, oh, we don't have enough. This is not good. And that can actually facilitate aches and pains starting to form in your body. But if you are focused on, man, isn't this so great? There's so much to be thankful for. There's so many things to be grateful for. I need to tell so-and-so thank you today. I need to make sure that I really use this thing that I've asked for and that I finally saved up for and I got because I am so grateful that I now have this tool or whatever it might be. When you do that, that part of your brain that is firing to tell you you're in pain is now saying, no, there isn't that same level of pain. Things are feeling better. Why? Because you're practicing gratitude. A study published in Applied Psychology, Health and Well-Being found that writing in a gratitude journal improves sleep. People who wrote in a gratitude journal for 15 minutes before bed reported better sleep than those who didn't journal about gratitude, about things they're grateful for. So not only will this improve your mental health, it improves your physical health, and it improves your social health because people will see that whatever they give you or however they help you, they will be thanked and appreciated for it. It's not just about being kind and respectful. It is literally about improving the well-being of children to help them practice gratitude. So let's talk about how you can do that. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to the practical part. And I've got 4 different ways that you can implement gratitude into your routine with the children who are in your care. First is what's called a gratitude jar. And that gratitude jar can literally just be an empty peanut butter jar or an empty pickle jar, whatever it might be, any type of jar. And next to it, you just have slips of paper. And throughout the day, family members can write on those slips of paper things that they're grateful for and put them down in the gratitude jar. And maybe it's the first day of the month or the last day of the month or the first day of the week or the last day of the week, depending on how full your jar gets, how fast. But you set a time with your family to look through all of those things and to talk about the things you've been grateful for since the last time. Now, that simple act of writing down what you're grateful for and placing it in the jar just reminds your brain, this is tangible. This is something that I need to be practicing. This is something that I need to be doing. And it gives action to the thought, to the feeling. And that action is really what puts it all in motion. So one very simple way is literally to set out a jar and maybe you write the word thanks on the side of it with some slips of paper, and people, as they walk past, they can write down anything they're grateful for and place it in the jar. Now, as you're starting to use this tool, you may have to remind different people in your family, oh, that's something to be grateful for. Let's write that down in the gratitude jar, in the thankful jar. That sounds really great. Oh my goodness, you got an A on your test. That is really something to be grateful for. Let's write that down in the gratitude jar. Oh my goodness, you helped me without me asking. That makes me feel so good. I'm going to write that down and put it in the gratitude jar. And you will have to be the leader of this system at first. But as children start to put things in the gratitude jar, they start to see that it feels better to be and feel and show thankfulness than it does to be wishing all the time that they want more and different and better. That gratitude jar is one simple way. Another one that's fairly simple that can also be a decoration is what's called a gratitude tree. Many times people do this by drawing a tree on a piece of paper, and then family members can come and write on leaves of the tree different things that they're grateful for, and over time that tree fills up. If you Google gratitude tree, you'll see all sorts of different examples. It can be done in chalk, it can be done on a marker board, it can be done on a piece of paper, it can be done on a large piece of paper, it can be done on an actual tree where you actually clip different things onto the tree to remind you of what you're grateful for. But remember, it's all about putting that action to the thought and the feeling of thankfulness, of actually putting something on the tree. And over time, children can see the tree start to become more colorful and more full, and they see that that's a representation of how their lives are when they are grateful. Their lives are feeling more colorful and more full. What about this one? Just a really simple, what made you smile today at a meal, whether it be breakfast or lunch or dinner, or whether it be in the car on the way home from school, or whether it be in the car on the way to school, or maybe they ride the bus. Maybe it's as soon as they get home during snack when they're putting away their school clothes. You have this conversation. What made you smile today? And again, it is just a verbal expression, but them having this time that is dedicated to sharing what made you smile today, this time that is dedicated to giving thanks, is gratitude, because it's more than just a thought, it's more than just a feeling, it's more than just words, it's a conversation. What made you smile today? Oh my goodness, that is so amazing. You got to get out of the treasure box at school? How great. Oh, you had a good day at work? Fantastic. That is so good that made you smile. And children will start to see, oh, the adults in my life, they are grateful, and things make them smile. So it's fun for me to share the things that I am grateful for and the things that make me smile, because this is now a fun conversation we're having, not just something I'm being told to do. Or what about this one? What if it was just thank you notes? This might be for older children, maybe 4th and 5th grade, as they start to learn how to write more things. But what if it was just any time your child or the children in your care started to receive a gift? Anytime they received a gift, or anytime they did something that was on that what made you smile today list, what if when you notice something that is a big deal, what if you sat down with them and actually wrote thank you notes, either to family members or friends or whoever it is that they want to give thanks to? If they were to put action and write out the things they're thankful for and then actually pass that note on. I've seen children do this as they've written out their own notes and passed them to different people, and the child is smiling just as big as the person receiving the note. Why? Because as children practice gratitude, as children start to put action to this feeling of thankfulness, they feel their stress levels come down. They feel their contentment go up. They feel their physical health start to improve. They see that it's building relationships. And maybe they didn't think it was going to do that before they ever started, but now they're seeing the results. And because they see what is happening, they feel better. And because they're feeling better, they can smile more often. Together, we can put on our gratitude goggles and change our perspectives. Remember, every single thank you counts. At MisterStuTV, we are here to support you on this journey. We have fun for kids at our YouTube channel for children at youtube.com/@MisterStuTV. That's MisterStuTV. There are resources about thankfulness and being grateful at our website, MisterStuTV.com. That's MisterStuTV.com. There are also other videos that you can watch to help your children understand this emotion of thankfulness and how to implement different strategies in your home at our parents channel on YouTube. It's youtube.com/@MisterStuTV parents. And finally, like I said at the beginning, I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I travel all around the state of Kentucky providing trainings for various organizations. And then I've been able to travel across the country and across the world speaking at different events. A lot of those things are on our YouTube channel for parents, and there are other resources at MisterStuTV.com. Coming up in December, we also have a MisterStuTV episode for children that's all about contentment. So be on the lookout there. That's youtube.com/@MisterStuTV. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the fun over there. Now, what about had to sneeze? There are questions that I receive about gratitude fairly often. First is, I work with very young children. I also work with several children who have autism spectrum disorder. Those children are unable to verbally communicate. So how can I teach my child to express gratitude when they're still learning to talk, or if they've passed that developmental stage and they're having difficulty with words? There are lots of ways. If your child is pre-verbal, meaning they haven't gone through the developmental stage to have words just yet, the biggest thing that you can do is demonstrate to children that you are thankful, that you are grateful. When they do something that you love, give them a big hug and let them know that you are so proud of them and so grateful for how amazing they are. When they see you interacting with other people, be sure that you are modeling this gratefulness, this thankfulness, so that they can catch on with how to do it themselves. Then, as they start to build their own language skills, whether it be through verbal communication or whether it be through body language, they can start to show that they are grateful as well. What about this one? What if my child refuses to participate in gratitude activities? Many times parents want to start implementing these activities and children don't want to participate because it's something new, and new is hard, and sometimes it seems silly or dumb. And I've heard parents try to convince their children by saying, this will improve your physical health, and it doesn't need to go to that. The biggest thing you can do is you stay consistent with it. Maybe you're filling up that gratitude jar and your children are every once in a while putting things in. If you keep at it, if you keep modeling that behavior for them, that's what will help them learn to catch on. Maybe at dinner when you're having the "what made you smile today" talk, maybe it's been kind of a rough day and the child says, "Nothing made me smile today." Maybe they're in a cranky mood, maybe they're tired or hungry, whatever it might be. "Nothing made me smile today. This was the worst day ever." Oh, that is really tough. Well, tell me the last thing you can remember that made you smile. Maybe you changed the rules a little bit. But it's all about demonstrating rather than demanding that children follow that. It's all about modeling that gratitude. Remember that children learn by watching. So if you're wanting them to learn how to do this new thing, you are going to have to model it for them, or they're not going to be able to catch on. Final question that I get fairly often: how can we my Kentucky twang came out there. How can we maintain consistency in practicing gratitude, especially on difficult days? This one comes down to the exact same thing: modeling. Maybe you had a rough day at work. Maybe you've had a frustrating day with your child or with the children in your care. Do you still find a way to practice gratitude? or are you the one with the busted attitude? If you are modeling for children, there's nothing to be grateful for today, then they'll start to see there's nothing to be grateful for today. But if you have had a rough day and children know you've had a rough day and you've been frustrated and there have been all sorts of things going on, but still at the end of the day you find one thing to still be grateful for, then children will see that even if you've had a frustrating day, a stressful day, an overwhelming day, a disappointing day, a sad day, a scary day, whatever it might be, there are still things you can find to be grateful for. Start to implement these strategies. Help your children learn this attitude of gratitude. It will help them learn respect. Yes, it will help them to develop their social skills. Absolutely. But it also improves their mental and physical health and will set them up for success. If you'll practice these strategies, you will be building a stronger relationship with your child as they are starting to see that this attitude is starting to take over in your family, in your classroom, wherever you might be practicing it. This attitude is starting to take over, and that has the effect of just building a stronger relationship. And it will be setting them up for success because they won't be focused on the things they don't have, the things they wish they had, the ways they wish they were better, but they will feel like they have so much because they've chosen to focus on being grateful. Be sure to follow and subscribe to both MisterStuTV's YouTube channels. That's youtube.com/@MisterStuTV for children and youtube.com/@MisterStuTV parents for trusted adults in children's lives. I'll be back again in a few weeks with another Facebook Live event where we will discuss more strategies on supporting and growing children into healthier and happier individuals. Until then, spread the word and share the love. Bye-bye.